Cyberpunk has come a long way in the nearly 3 years since it launched, and nothing exemplifies that more than the brand new 2.0 update for the game, releasing alongside the Phantom Liberty expansion. CD Projekt Red are continuing their tradition of providing free content updates by pushing this 2.0 gameplay update to all players who own the game, and not just Phantom Liberty owners. So whether you're planning to get the new expansion, or you're diving into the base game for the first time, here's everything new in Cyberpunk 2077's free 2.0 update. One final note before we get started, the update is not being pushed to all consoles. PS5, Xbox Series X/S, and PC will see this update, while PS4 and Xbox One users will not. To start us off, let's look at the new skill tree system. The overall attributes like cool or reflexes are the same, and you still need to increase these with attribute points in order to unlock new perks. But once we open these categories, things look very different compared to how they used to. Many perks have been removed, reworked, or straight up added to this menu, so it's worth going over each various tree to see how you may like to build your character in 2.0. Perks can also be refunded for free at any time, so feel free to experiment. Some of the noteworthy new perks that we've been using in 2.0 are Hack Queue, which lets you queue up multiple quick hacks at once, Air Dash, which is perfect for moving swiftly through the air, Quake, for those of you who want to pulverize groups of enemies at once, and Lead and Steel, which lets you block incoming projectiles while blocking with a blade. So many of these perks come with new animations, making them flashy, stylish, and very enjoyable to use, so give them a shot. Unlike refunding perk points, refunding attribute points has actually become a bit more rigid than in the past. Your level cap will be raised if you buy Phantom Liberty, so while that will give you a little more room to play with, you won't be able to infinitely refund your attribute points like you could in 1.0. Back then, all you needed was enough eddies to pay for the refund, but now you get one refund and that's it. Don't worry about this too much if you're starting a new character, but when you get past level 30, maybe start to make a plan for the overall trajectory of your character's attributes before you run into respec problems. In the base game, car combat was limited to leaning out of a car window to shoot your guns, or using small arms on a bike. Now you can fire your weapons from within your car if you have a pistol or SMG equipped, and the game will provide you with some generous auto-targeting so that you can juggle driving and firing at the same time. A new car hacker perk allows you to use quick hacks while driving to control other cars on the road. You can deploy a car's emergency brake, make a car suddenly accelerate, and even set a car to detonate after a small charge-up time. These hacks are so helpful to have during a high-speed chase, and you can use them while on foot to create distractions as well.
Of course.
Unleash your inner Mad Max with new mounted weaponry on vehicles. These weapons can be mounted machine guns, rocket launchers, or you can have both. According to CDPR, most of these vehicles are exclusive to Phantom Liberty, but there are a couple of options for base game players to find while in the world. You could buy a combat kitted car from the AutoFixer website, or you can pinch one from nearby gangs or police if you want to take one for a spin. All of these new car combat additions pair really well with the numerous car combat perks in the skill tree that offer you extra vehicle health, new ways to leap out of your vehicle, and more. You can now also shoot vehicles in specific areas to take out tires and fuel tanks. All of these various changes and components combine together to completely reinvent what car combat is in Cyberpunk.
All nearby units, the suspect is still at large in the area.
News trickled down the Ripper grapevine. Thought it might interest you.
When you next visit a Ripper dock, you'll be guided through the reworked Cyberware System. Armor is now directly tied to some of your Cyberware implants, meaning almost all clothes are purely cosmetic now. and you can increase the maximum armor limit by leveling up and purchasing specific skills in your skill tree. You'll also need to manage your cyberware capacity now too, so while you're starting out, you'll only be able to equip so many enhancements. This statistic also increases with your level and specific perks in your skill tree. Now, when Cyberpunk launched, it had many issues, including that police would appear out of nowhere and weren't much of a threat. Gone are those days now, as the 2.0 update brings a police behavior rework, complete with patrolling officers, improved AI, and an escalating heat system. Police AI will adapt as your heat level increases, and it increases the longer that you are in combat with the police. If you push them for long enough, they'll deploy their elite max tac squad to wipe you out, so you may want to think twice now before picking a fight with the NCPD. Stamina used to drain every time you jumped and while you were sprinting, as well as while engaging with melee combat, but most of that is completely different now. General traversal actions like jumping and sprinting now have zero effect on stamina, and instead, shooting weapons decreases stamina alongside melee combat, dodging and dashing. Running out of stamina while shooting lowers your accuracy, which you can see in the increased spread of the reticle. This effectively turns the stamina bar into more of a combat stamina meter, as this is the setting where you'll see the most use of the bar now. Other changes include new limits to medicinal items and grenades. Instead of being able to use an entire inventory's worth of health inhalers and explosives in a single fight, now you start a fight with a maximum of 2 of these items each that recharge after they have been used. What you equip for healing or grenades in your inventory now simply determines what kind of rechargeable item you want to use. There are also new radio stations and various UI improvements throughout the game. What do you think of 2.0? Are you going to jump back in? Or maybe even experience the game for the first time? Let us know in the comments. For more on Cyberpunk, be sure to check our wiki for help with anything in the base game, as well as when the expansion launches for walkthroughs, tips, tricks, and more. For all other things gaming, stick with IGN.